Before you begin, make sure you have your cutting board with a damp towel or rubber mat to secure it. Make sure you have all your mise en place, everything including equipment, tools that you're going to need. Also, you want to make sure you have all your ingredients portioned out for your rice. Also, with your chicken, make sure that you keep it covered with ice while you're preparing all the other ingredients. This will keep it nice and chilled. Okay. So the rice you are going to be using to prepare your rice pilaf is a Uncle Ben's original. This is a converted rice. This is the rice that is used in all restaurants. It holds really well in your steam tables. So if you're going to practice this at home, either buy Uncle Ben's original or make sure you read the directions on the package of the rice you're getting. You want to make sure that it's a short or a long grain rice. Okay, do not get a short grain. Short grain has a lot of starch in it. So you'll get a long grain rice. I have the following ingredients: chicken breast, rice, chicken stock, olive oil, thyme, garlic cloves, butter, broccoli, and onion. For the rice, I have some converted rice, olive oil, salt and pepper mix, garlic, a quarter of an onion, and chicken broth. Okay, the first thing we are going to do is cut our onion. You're going to be given a quarter of an onion. Use either all or as many as you like, it doesn't matter. I'm going to use about half of that amount. Okay, when you dice it, make sure that the dices are even cut. This is the example of how you can do it. Flatten the onion and then begin by cutting. You typically want to go small dice. There's your diced onion. Then you'll get your garlic. And again, as much garlic as you like, depends on how much you want. You don't want it to be too much. You'll mash it. Or you could just, with your knife, mash it really fine. Okay, the first thing you're going to do is get your pot on. This is going to be for your rice pilaf. And the pilaf method is basically toasting your rice. So you want to do this first. Get an olive oil in there. Get your rice. Set it in. And you're going to stir it up. This is your first step. And you want to start your rice first before you do anything else. So be careful not to burn it. All you want to do is just toast your rice a little bit. And this is the pilaf method. As you can see, it's starting to toast up. You don't have to have every grain of rice toasted, just enough to get that nice toasty flavor in there. And you'll begin to smell it. I'm going to lower the temp. Be careful not to burn it though. Once you get that nice toasty flavor, just like we have here, then you can add your diced onions and your garlic. I'm going to go ahead and add the garlic at the very end. Just get your onions sweated out a little. Just enough to get that nice little flavor. And finally, I'll add the garlic. You don't want to add the garlic too soon or you're going to burn it. And when you start to smell that garlic, then you know you're ready to go. You smell that garlic toasting. Next step is to add your stock. We're going to add a little chicken broth to that. On the rice, it's a 2-to-1 ratio. So if I have 1 cup of rice, I'm going to use 2 cups of stock. Okay, we're going to bring this up to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, we're going to bring it down to a simmer, and you may cook it on the stovetop at a low simmer for 15 minutes and then turn it off and just let it rest. Or you can go into the oven at 350 degrees for 19 minutes covered. So once it comes to a boil, and you do want to taste, you might have to adjust your seasoning. Okay, then you want to taste it. Add salt and pepper to your preference. Then down to a low simmer. And then cover. Place in the oven at 350 for 19 minutes or place on the stovetop for 15 and let it rest for an additional 10. The next step is to get a pot of water on with some salt. Roughly it's about a tablespoon to a quart of water. And while your water's coming to a boil, you can be preparing the broccoli. You also want to get your ice water ready. While your water's coming to a boil, you're going to prep your broccoli. You're going to make a broccoli spear, or if you want to do florets, you can do a florets. I'm going to do a spear. So we're going to take off the outer layer of the skin. And on this particular one, you should be able to get 2 portions. Then you just cut it right down the middle. And you have your broccoli spear. Once your water comes to a boil, place your broccoli in and place a lid on top. Let it go anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes depending on the size of the broccoli. Once your broccoli is cooked at least halfway, place it in the ice water, and this will stop the cooking process. Reserve the water. Okay, and finally you want to get your chicken going. So get your flame on. You can use any kind of saute pan. You can use a Teflon, or you can just use a regular aluminum pan. Remove your ice from there. Set it aside. You're going to season your chicken breast with anything you want to season it with. That'll be your at your discretion. I got the chicken here. I'm going to season it. Now, how you season it is going to determine how your pan gravy or your pan sauce is going to be. So turn it around. Once you get your pan hot enough, add your olive oil. Make sure you get the whole pan with your tongs. You're going to season the presentation side first. This is the back side. This is the presentation side. When you place it on the pan, tilt it away from you so any splatters will go the other way. And then set it in. Keep it in there long enough so that you got a nice, beautiful brown. Do not disturb it. This is going to create your sauce. Second, just take a peek until you get that beautiful brown color. Lower your flame, adjust if necessary. It can tilt again. And this is what you're looking for, a nice golden brown. And then you're going to place in the oven at 350 to 400 degrees until the internal temperature is at 160 degrees. You're going to let it rest for anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. That will carry it over to at least 165. Okay, this is what your rice is going to look like after 20 minutes or so. And you want to fluff it up with the fork. And you can keep it warm on your stovetop. Okay. Okay, you're going to remove it from the oven. And again, you want to save all these drippings here. Place some foil on top and let it sit for about at least 5 minutes. While your chicken is resting, you want to get your pot of water going for your broccoli. And get your bowl and put your olive oil in it or your butter, whichever you use. This is going to be for your broccoli. Salt, pepper mix. Get that ready as well. Okay, the next step is, again, make sure this is the drippings, as you can see here. If you want to put a little broth or water in there, you can. So just a little bit. And get it up to a nice little boil. This is going to be your broth. And once that comes to a nice little simmer, then you're going to add your butter to it. Once it comes to that stage, turn it off, take it off to the stove, add your butter, and slowly let it melt. This will be your pan gravy, or your molte au beurre, which means melted butter. And then you do want to taste it. Adjust with salt and pepper if needed. And there's your finished product. Put your broccoli in. Cover with the lid. You'll go anywhere from 1 to 2 minutes depending on how cooked it is. All you really want to do is just heat it through.